Hey, what's going on, guys? It's FPL Yusuf, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be going over game week 3 of FPL Challenge, promoted punt. I'm going to be showing you guys how we fared last week, how my team's getting on for this week, and we're going to talk about some of the promoted players and who we should be picking for this upcoming game week. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today for another video on my YouTube channel. Before we get into this, if you wouldn't mind dropping a thumbs up and subscribing down below, it would be greatly appreciated. So, FPL Challenge Game Week 3, I'm going to just show you guys how we fared in last week in Game Week 2. It was a disastrous week in how it started. We dropped quite a lot of rank. But it was saved on the Sunday by a certain Nicholas Jackson. So as you guys can see on screen, we were 10k just about before this game week started. We are now sitting at 92k, so not the worst drop in the world. A little bit disappointing. Obviously, I didn't go without Erling Haaland. Was it a mistake in hindsight? Yes, of course, he's the captain. He would have been captain for most people. Scored himself a hat trick, but like I said, we were bailed out a little bit by Nicholas Jackson and the Chelsea game against Wolves. A little bit disappointed about the other three strikers. I put the captain on Muniz. I thought Fulham would finally get off and running with a few goals. It wasn't meant to be. Obviously, we did have Dominic Solanke in this team, which I actually do think, had he played, he was captain as well, he probably would have ended up getting some returns. But like I said, Nicholas Jackson sort of bailed us out towards the end of the game week. And now we move on to game week 3. Right, so for game week 3, what is it about? What's the score? What are the rules for it? Let's get into it. So it's called Promoted Punt, and the players that you can select this week are only from promoted teams. Now, it's worth me saying that there is a budget restriction on this. You have 24 million at the max to fill out a team of 5. Now I've gone for a 1-1-2-1 formation, so I've got 2 extra midfielders in there, as opposed to some of the other formations you could pick. It's worth me saying that, obviously, with the budget in this, there has to be a sacrifice, and I've chosen to sacrifice the goalkeeper spot. I don't think Danny Ward will play. He's 4 million, so he was the only goalkeeper that I could actually fit in whilst trying to get the rest of this team sorted. So I'm not expecting any points from the goalkeeper position, but the rest of the outfield players should be getting us hopefully some returns. So let's start off in defence. We've got Harwood Bellis from Southampton. They are away at Brentford. It was a tricky one because it was basically, Leicester was kind of a write-off. They're playing Aston Villa. I do expect Aston Villa to sort of get on the score sheet. So from the forward line all the way to the defence, there wasn't anyone that really stood out for me. Maybe you could have took a gamble at Jamie Vardy, but because he's gone up to 5.6 in price, it sort of messed with the budget of the team. So I just decided to go solely Southampton, as you can see, mainly Ipswich in the midfield, mainly Ipswich for the midfield and attack. But Harwood Bellis, I think, Southampton have been maybe a little bit unlucky not to have a clean sheet so far. They played really well in the first game against Newcastle, which, I felt on another day, they would have gotten the 0-0 draw, would have bagged a clean sheet. But they look like a team who can control possession well. And obviously, when you're a team that has the ball, there's obviously less chance of you being attacked at. And I think Harwood Bellis, he's at 4 million, so he was the cheapest defender to get in here. He's a guaranteed starter. And, you never know. Brentford is not an easy ground to go away to by any means. But, stranger things have happened. And like I said, most of the money in this team is going to be pushed into the midfield and the forward. So let's get onto them right now. So I've gone for the double up of Luongo and Smodics from Ipswich. Now, we saw Ipswich actually got off to quite a fast start in game week 2 against Man City of all teams. Obviously, as time went on, Man City's quality come through and they ended up winning the game quite comfortably. But it just goes to show that Ipswich are a team to consider. Now, there was a part of me that was considering Leif Davis to put in the defence from Ipswich and maybe making a sort of change there as opposed to having Luongo in the midfield. That's something which I might still consider. But for me, as of right now, this is the team I'm going to go with. Smodics is obviously the guy who got the goal against Man City. And I think he will be, he's a new signing for Ipswich, and I think he will be quite an important piece in their season this year. I think they'll be expecting him to get on the score sheet a few times, and with the way he runs and makes those late runs, I do think that there's chance for him to actually get on the score sheet and get some returns for them. So he's actually going to be the captain for this team going into this week. Luongo is, to be honest with you, he's only in there for price purposes. Like I said, there is a possibility that I looked just kind of switch maybe him to Leif Davis if possible, but we'll wait and see on that one. And finally, we've gone for Delap up front. I don't think you should expect 90 minutes from him, but he did look quite good against Man City. He had spells where he's holding the ball up well, trying to bring others into the game, and obviously playing against Fulham at home versus Man City away, you're probably going to get more chances against this Fulham side, who, to be honest with you, haven't really started the season that well. The first game against Manchester United, Leno bailed them out from it being that more of a heavier scoreline. They got the win, obviously, in game week 2, but still gave up chances, didn't keep a clean sheet. So I think, with the way we saw Ipswich play at home against Liverpool in the first game week, I think there's definitely room for them to actually get at Fulham and sort of get a couple, maybe sort of 2, I don't know about 3, but maybe sort of 1 or 2 goals. And, if that's going to happen, it's either going to be Smodics or Delap who are going to be on the score sheet for them, most likely. So, yeah, that's why I've gone for the Ipswich triple up in the midfield and forwards. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Like I said, I always say with these FPL challenge videos, they're going to be quite short, sort of just get straight to the point. I'll show you guys my team, why I've chosen certain players, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can have a better week this week and sort of climb back up to inside that top 10k. But like I said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.